The energy in a river causes erosion. The bed and banks can be eroded, making it wider, deeper, and longer. Headward erosion makes a river longer. This erosion happens near its source. Surface runoff and through flow causes erosion at the point where the water enters the valley head. Vertical erosion makes a river channel deeper. This happens more in the upper stages of a river. Lateral erosion makes a river wider. This occurs mostly in the middle and lower stages of a river. There are four main processes of erosion that occurs in rivers. These are hydraulic action. The pressure of water breaks away rock particles from the riverbed and banks. Abrasion. The sediment carried by a river scars the bed and banks. Attrition. Eroded rocks collide and break into smaller fragments. The edges of these rocks become smoother and more rounded. And corrosion. Carbon dioxide dissolves in the river to form a weak acid. This process is common where carbonate rocks such as limestone and chalk are evident in a channel.
Transport is the materials that may be loose due to erosion and transported by the river. There are four types of transport. The first one is suspension, materials that are made up of fine particles that are lifted as a result of turbulence. Solution, materials that are dissolved and carried by the river. Saltation, pebbles and gravel that are too heavy to be carried so they bounce around the riverbed. And traction, materials such as boulders that roll around or are pushed by the riverbed. Materials can affect the meandering of the river by how heavy it is.
As long as nothing gets in the way of a river's meandering, its curves will continue to grow curvier until they loop around and bumble into themselves. When that happens, the river follows the straighter path downhill, leaving behind a crescent-shaped remnant called an outflow lake.
Deposition is the process of eroded material being dropped. This happens when a river loses energy. A river can lose its energy when rainfall reduces, evaporation increases, friction close to riverbanks and shallow areas, which leads to the speed of the river reducing and therefore the energy reducing. When a river has to slow down, it reduces its speed, and when the river meets the sea, its speed is reduced.